Hello, I'm Philip Stoughton. I'm here at APEX 2020 and I'm joined by Chris from Indium. Chris, one of the trends we're seeing in a lot of trends going on in soldering at the moment, with selective solder and different things, but one of the things we're seeing is solder paste dispensing, and some people are using that as part of a hybrid solution for getting solder paste on the board, and some are using it as a single solution. What does that mean in terms of the solder paste itself, and what does that demand from you as a materials manufacturer?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's very difficult, particularly with jetting. There's a couple different technologies. There's different types of dispensing that are very unique, and then there's jetting of it. So maybe kind of speak to both, but I guess the big driver is for folks with high mix, and there's a lot of those folks around with high mix. They tend to like, instead of having to acquire stencils, they want to go very quick and get new stuff. So jetting of solder paste is appealing, or dispensing, and there's challenges of getting very small dots for like MEMS applications and things like that. So there's a lot of challenges associated with jetting and dispensing to get very small deposits, and these deposits, the challenge I'll kind of speak from a material standpoint now. There are challenges from materials because you have to be able to put down these very small dots, and they're putting down at high speeds, and they want the nice dot that's clean, doesn't spread out over the board, and they also want the full syringe dispensed without clogging up. So lots of challenges there from a material standpoint, and it's caused us to kind of revamp how we make those materials. So we have to ensure that there's basically no large materials around anywhere. So that impacts, how we make the flux, how we make the powder, and develop products for the industry. So, and there's special rheological properties of the paste that allow it to be jetted at high speeds and uniformly get deposits. So that's kept us, our folks in R&D.
Yeah, and is it a challenge that is completely new, or is it developed over time, and is it something that you're seeing more and more demand? And also, which industry is looking to dispense more than others? Is it just based on mix of boards?
Yeah, I think you're seeing different pockets of drivers. So in the U.S., we do tend to see probably more military applications that are going toward that solution, because they don't do, it's lower volume and it's high mix, so it's a kind of a perfect fit. You go into other things like MEMS, they have other drivers. They're looking for very small feature sizes. So I'll kind of split those into two drivers for it. I think it's been a continuing trend, and it's accelerating. So you've probably been talking about it for 4 to 5 years now. But I do think it's accelerating now, and more people are examining it, and there's new applications like the fine feature MEMS that are requiring that type of fine deposit.
Yeah, and people are looking for more and more holistic and creative solutions where they might do one part with selective solder, one part with wave solder. You're seeing more and more different uses.
So they might print majority of the board and then come back and jet, or so. We are seeing the demand increase, and for that we've invested a lot more time into it, and we've actually had to modify. We have to do innovation in the way we make powder to get the type of distribution of powder that's needed here. We've had to look at how we make the flux, and make sure there's. We don't have contamination in our solder paste manufacturing, but you have to be. I don't want to say it's clean room now, but you have to go to very extreme levels to ensure there's nothing large in the flux system.
That's in there. Yeah, absolutely. And other big drivers in the industry at the moment, we're obviously seeing a lot of talk around 5G, and that has its own impact on you, but also in the automotive sector around electrification of cars. There's a lot going on there. Are they other key drivers for you at the moment?
Well, there is, and I'd say it's. Automotive is driving a lot of it. A lot of the electric vehicles are driving demands for higher operating temperatures, and with those, we're kind of seeing where you're moving out of solder paste, so to speak, into things like we have a product called Quick Sinter, which is a silver sintering material. So we're seeing applications driving into those material sets.
Yeah. Okay, and that's great. That's creating more and more engineering challenges, and Indium's always been that company that's very engineer to engineer focused in terms of the way you interact with your customer. That must be really important to give you a vision of what's going to be challenging them next, and make sure you're ready for it.
Well, thank you for saying that. Is kind of the cornerstone of Indium, is engineer to engineer. We try to have a good staff of very bright, educated, experienced engineers that can speak at a high level and a deep level on these topics, and kind of work as an extension of the engineering team of our customers. So, and that feeds back into our R&D, also into product development.
Yeah, and it's even more than just staying up to speed. You've got to get ahead of some of these things and be ready.
You do. You try to get ahead of them all. It's hard to get ahead of them all, but we do try to get ahead, and it's fun.
Yeah.
It makes a career fun, makes the industry fun.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely it does. Well, Chris, thanks for stopping by and chatting. Always a pleasure to talk, and we'll see you at the next one. Thank
Sounds
you.
great.